What's the difference between a hawk and a dove? Geek out with me. Some of this may seem obvious if you just think of the birds themselves. As far as birds go, hawks are pretty aggressive and they focus on their prey. While with doves, you always think of peace and love. But what do these terms mean in the context of international relations? Hawks or hawkish people believe that the best solution to conflict or major national security threats is military engagement. They strive for strong military power and they favor entering into a war in order to achieve their goals. They also don't tend to believe much in the power of compromise. Sounds like a really fun person to date. A dove is the total opposite. They're pretty pacifist, which means they believe that war or military engagement is never warranted. They pursue negotiations to resolve conflict and are focused mainly on dialogue and other peaceful means to achieve national security objectives. Kind of like a foreign policy therapist. Vladimir Putin, you need to use your words. One of the best examples of a hawk is former National Security Advisor John Bolton. He believed in the power of using military force and that pursuing war or military engagement of some kind was often the best means to achieve our national security and foreign policy goals. An example of that is when he argued that bombing Iran would stop Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. And in 2018, he requested military options from the Pentagon to strike Iran. He has also argued in favor of striking North Korea to counter the threats posed by its nuclear program and missile testing. Hawks prefer military action over diplomacy because they believe that victory will come more easily and quickly that way. Now, on the opposite end of the forest, you have the doves. The best example of a dove is Mahatma Gandhi, who was an Indian lawyer and political and spiritual leader who used nonviolent resistance to lead the successful effort to India's independence from British rule. He believed that all problems could be solved through peaceful approaches and nonviolent protest. He was a pacifist, as evidenced by his effort to write letters to Hitler in an attempt to prevent and stop World War II, and his opposition to Indian participation in the war. Now, most people tend to sit somewhere in the middle of this spectrum. Like most of us are probably a mix of crows and pigeons. Where do you think you sit? Like, what kind of bird are you? Let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe and check out our other videos while you're at it. In the meantime, thanks for geeking out with me.